Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
I love how Art says, I'll give it to you when you're ready.
Yeah.
That's how we start on Monday, baby.
Yeah, Art. Man, someone had a good weekend.
Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. It is a Monday. Super Bowl week is upon us. But the biggest news has been, as you know, Matthew Stafford is out of Detroit. We're going to discuss that a lot today. I want to hear everybody's opinions on that. So if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, or you're watching us on Twitter, get in the comments right now. Let us know what you think of this Stafford trade. We got some other things going on today. Darren McCarty's going to stop by to talk about Let Them Play, the rally in Lansing that happened over the weekend. Plus, someone's porch got stolen, and we're going to talk about that. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Stick. To my right.
What's going on is Kory, a.k.a. Jared Goff's new realtor.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Get that 3%. And to my left.
Dude, I'll take 0.5%. It's Joey. Good morning.
Good morning, Joey. And on producer cam over there, we have Mr. Art. Hi, Art.
What's going on?
How was your weekend, buddy?
Very uneventful, and I liked it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did absolutely nothing except change diapers and yell at kids all weekend. It was
Nice.
It's a great weekend.
Good for you, man. Well, as we always do to kick off the show, Joey, let's recap your news of the weekend. What happened?
So, did you guys hear about the Detroit Lions? They traded Matthew Stafford, guys.
Yeah, kind of heard about that.
So, it was a big trade over the weekend. Matthew Stafford traded to the Rams, and in return, we got Jared Goff. We got a third-round pick in 2021 and then a first-round pick in 2022 and 2023. So we got a lot out of this deal.
Yeah, heist. Love it.
And then if you guys were watching yesterday, did you guys see the Pro Bowl on Madden?
Yes.
NFC came on top, and just seeing Snoop Dogg and Marshawn Lynch was like the highlight of my entire weekend. So that was great. NFC did get that W, as I said. Then we switch it over talking about the Pistons. Another freaking weekend where the Pistons and the Red Wings lost every single game that they played. But at least this one, we saw Wayne Ellington standing up for his teammate, calling out Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
That's right. That's a fight. I got. As long as we got Beef Stew on our side, Isaiah Stewart, I will step up and fight anybody in the league.
Oh yeah. But without Beef Stew, though, I might be a little bit quieter. But, yeah, we lost to the Warriors on Saturday by 27 points. Just going to move away from that topic. Switch it over to the Red Wings. We tallied up 2 losses, both games against the Panthers. Both games we lost 3-2. And let's talk about some good local news, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Restaurants are officially open. At 25% capacity, we share a space here with the Lady Jane's and Birmingham Roast, and it was awesome walking in and seeing people having their morning coffee, hanging out.
Yeah, just sitting down, enjoying their coffee. I can't wait to go to a restaurant and order a meal. I feel like I haven't done that in years.
It's the simplest things, too, that make you so happy.
Right.
Like going out and supporting a locally owned restaurant and you know, they've been out of work for such a long time that it's one of those that just go out, support a local restaurant today.
I do it like every Sunday. Like every Sunday I go to the same spot. I go to Cocoa Fairfields in Berkeley and get my breakfast. And now the fact that I'm able to, I normally just go sit in there. But lately I've been going and getting the pickup. Now to go be able to go back and sit in there because they know me, I'm happy.
Nice.
And then the last thing I got here is a quick little recap because I'm just proud of everybody that came out to support us at the Let Them Play event. They anticipated about 1,000 people. Looking off of that stage or so on top of the state capitol steps, I would assume probably like 3,000 or 4,000 people showed up.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about that coming up. Not only like what happened at the event, what's happened after the event, and our own Darren McCarty from Woodward Sports is going to be on
Fox and Friends.
Fox and Friends this morning talking about it. So we're definitely getting some buzz off of that. It was a great event, lighthearted, felt good. But we'll talk about that. You want to get into some Stafford news?
Let's start it. Kick off the show.
You mentioned it in your story, and this is something that we're going to be talking about a lot today because, to me, this is the biggest trade, not in Lions history, but at least in the past 15 years for the Lions, right?
I mean, you can really, I don't think if you said it's the biggest trade in Lions history, I don't think it's that crazy.
We got a lot, and I've seen mixed reactions on this. Here's my take. I don't give a shit about Jared Goff. Like, what I love is the picks. Me going into this for Matthew Stafford, what I was thinking, because I thought Indy was going to be like the #1 suitor. If Indy gave us the 21st this year and like their first round next year, I thought that was going to be a major win to get Stafford on the or to get Stafford and get that haul back in. Not only did we get 2 first-round picks, we got a 3rd-round pick, and we got a stopgap quarterback. Like, what is not to love about this?
The Lions have the Lions have 5 first-round picks over the next 3 years.
That's amazing.
And a first overall quarterback from 2016. So there's so much firsts right now that I like.
I don't understand how anybody can look at this trade and be mad. I mean, the team is already going to be building from the ground up. So now you have draft equity. You can even flip those picks maybe later on if you want to go ahead and get somebody else later on down the line if you need to. But if you're building from the ground up, you need picks, and they have picks, and you can add a whole lot of talent with those picks. And also, you got John Dorsey and Brad Holmes in the front office. Who else do you want to have that smorgasbord of picks?
Right.
It's a great deal.
The Lions haven't entered the draft with 2 first-round picks since 2009, and that's when they took Stafford and Pettigrew.
Say that one more time.
They haven't entered the first round of the NFL draft with a first-round pick with 2 first-round picks since 2009.
Wow.
They did have 2 first-round picks in 2010, but they traded up to get Javid Best. So the next 2 years, we got 2 first-round picks going into the draft, and everybody's thinking like, oh God, the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl now, so those picks aren't really going to be good at all. But when you think about it, I mean,
they're still first rounders.
And not only that, like this trade, Vegas doesn't think it really helped the Rams a ton. They went from 18-1 to win the Super Bowl to 13-1. Yes, that's a little bit of a difference, but not like all of a sudden they're 3-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. It didn't put them over the top.
I feel like Matthew Stafford is just really underrated across the league because of him being a Detroit Lion. So I feel like when you put him there with the weapons that they have, like that team on both ends of the ball is so just dynamic that I think he's going to take it and run with it. And I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but I'm going to say he's going to definitely get him some playoff wins.
I don't know, man. When I look at – go ahead, Kory.
I'm just saying, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and be bold, and people can rip me all you want. I don't think it's that far-fetched that Jared Goff gets a playoff win as a Lion before Stafford does with the Rams.
Damn, for real?
I'm just going to go – I don't think it's that far-fetched. I mean, they ain't that far apart if over the last couple of years. I got the numbers to back it up, so we can get into that later.
Kory always got the numbers.
Yeah, well, I was looking at just kind of their totals for the season, this last season, and they're not that far apart, really, Goff and Stafford. Like, you know, in fantasy points, Goff was 18, Stafford was 15. Goff had more completions, more attempts, a better completion percentage. Stafford had more yards. He had more yards per attempt, but only by a half a yard.
More touchdowns, less interceptions, though.
That is true. But, you know, 20 to 26 and then 10 interceptions to 13 for Goff. So the interception's not that far off. Sacked, though, how many times? 38 sacks for Stafford, 23 for Goff. And then Goff had 4 rushing touchdowns. Stafford 0.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was something interesting that popped up when I was reading this. And just overall, you know, like their QB rating isn't that far off of each other for their whole careers. So really, I don't know, man. Like, I get we love Stafford here, but if we're just going off of this, like, here's for their careers: Stafford yards per pass attempt 7.2, Goff yards per pass attempt 7.2.
Oh wow!
Like they're almost even.
My biggest thing looking at that was the touchdown to turnover ratio. I just think with Goff, if he can be better and more towards the touchdown side of that, I'll be really happy with this.
I also think that Goff had some nice weapons on the as far as his receiving core, and he had the benefit of Todd Gurley. But you know when he was there. But if you give Goff, Hawkinson, Galladay, Swift, bring back Cephas, I think he'll be all right.
Hopefully Galladay.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a side conversation, what they're going to do with Galladay. Tom Mazaway, he thinks they're just going to franchise tag him.
Galladay did say that he liked Dan Campbell's energy in the press conference, so that might be something that'll motivate him to stick around a little bit longer. Who knows?
People seem to love Dan Campbell's energy. So
with Marvin Jones, Is he for sure going to be gone? Has there been any word on that? Because, I mean, when you look at him, I mean, where he is in his career, I doubt he wants to be a part of this whole rebuild.
I hear the Patriots are looking at him.
Patriots. I heard some rumors about the Dolphins.
Okay.
I honestly, if they got to get rid of Marvin Jones, I would love to have him back because I think he's serviceable. But if he has to move on, so be it. I think that there are other receivers that they can go ahead and find through the draft or through free agency to take up that spot. And also, too, just focus on Galladay and Quintez Cephas.
Right. Well, when we're going back to comparing the two, Stafford and Goff, which, by the way, do you know where Stafford is right now?
No. Is he still here?
In L.A.?
No, they're in Mexico with the McVays.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Kelly Stafford's brother coaches for the Bills,
Yeah.
and he grew up playing football with McVay, so they've had this weird family relationship for a while, so this is all kind of interesting. And you know what else is interesting? That I don't know which third-round pick we're getting from the Rams. Do you think it's one of the compensatory picks for hiring the minority from the Rams?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because it didn't specifically say which one, but if that's the case, like, that's kind of cool.
You know what? I'm about to look up that. I just really honestly don't know that one right now.
Because that's what the Rams got when we hired Holmes.
Yeah.
The Rams got 2 third-round picks because of the minority hire. That's one of the new initiatives in the NFL. So I'm wondering if they're like, all right, well, you hired the guy. You gave us a third-round pick.
Right.
Here you go. You can have it back. I think that's awesome if that happened. Like, the Lions are making moves here, and I love it.
I mean, the Lions basically just took everything from the Rams. Took the got a GM from there, got an assistant GM from there, got a defensive backs coach.
Right.
Now we got the quarterback.
That's right.
Which leads me to the question,
some
though.
picks.
Are you happy with this quarterback, or do you think we need to make a draft?
To me, he's the cherry on top of this trade. Like, I would have done this just for the picks.
Yeah.
Like, just for the picks, I would have done this trade. But now we have that stopgap quarterback that it's like, all right, we're not pissing the season away. We don't have to rely on Chase Daniels. And we can draft a young quarterback, have Goff play for a year or two. And if he does well, we trade him, get value back for him, and get even more picks for Stafford.
It's pretty interesting which way the Lions could go with this one because they honestly do not have to take a quarterback now with the number 7 pick if Goff does well. First off, everybody who's like hating on Goff, first off, he's only 26.
Right.
And he's a 2-time Pro Bowler already. He led his team to a Super Bowl, whether you want to say it was the defense or not. He led his team to a Super Bowl. He's 3-3 in the postseason. Now, here's the thing. If Goff does well, that is in the best interest of the Lions because they can spread those picks around and do a lot of different things to build this roster out. So, and also, if he does not do well in his first season, they can get rid of him with minimal risk to the cap. So it's honestly a win-win situation any way you look at it.
I mean, I agree with Adam because he's in the comments right now saying that we should draft Justin Fields in the early first round. So I think that's what we should do, guys.
Is that what Adam's really saying? There's no way.
No, I just want to see his pissed reaction.
No, but that is interesting. It does lead you to a different scenario where the Lions don't necessarily have to take their franchise quarterback this year. You can ride it out for a year with Goff because, Campbell's talked about this being a 2-3 year process. So this year, ride it out with Goff, see what you got. If he works out and he's good, keep him. If not, next year, get your franchise quarterback.
I only say that you draft a quarterback in the first round this year if you believe that one of those two guys will be the guy moving forward. If you are just kind of just taking a flyer to see what will happen, I don't think that's what you should do. But if you really think that Justin Fields or a Trey Lance is the guy, go ahead and take him still.
Yeah. So other teams did make plays for Matthew Stafford, and I kind of got a report on what was offered, and I want to see. I don't think any of these are as good as what we got, but Carolina offered us the highest pick. They offered us the number 8 overall for Matthew Stafford.
Straight?
There was some players added in, but nothing like crazy over the top. Like the 8th was kind of the focus on that pick. Would you rather have the 8th pick or these multiple picks coming up in other years?
The multiple picks coming up over the next couple of years because they're rebuilding the team, and it would have been cool to have 2 first round
7th and the 8th.
7th, 8th. That would have been cool to draft back to back, but at the same time, you don't know who's going to come up over the next couple of years, and you're able to really build that team out in the first round the next couple of years, get some starters.
Right.
So I like what they have now.
I just think with what we have, there's so much in this package that I don't care what these other picks, the offers really were, because, I mean, on top of that, you get the quarterback, but then you get the future picks. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, me too. And then Washington offered a first-round pick. They got number 19th overall, and they offered a third-round pick with that, which obviously we didn't take any of these, but to me it's interesting to see behind the curtain of how this all went down. And, supposedly over the weekend, we started to hear buzz warming up, and that's what pushed this Stafford thing to go very fast.
Yeah, because the Lions said they wanted to get a deal done before the Super Bowl, so the reports were that they expected the deal to be completed before the end of the week. But they said that in the morning. The deal was done by – I had to say that Saturday morning. The deal was done by Saturday night.
Right.
So they were adamant about getting, everything complete.
The Colts never offered their first-round pick, which is why they fell out of the running quickly.
Oh, bye.
And then the Niners called. There was some interest, but then they BS'd for a couple days. And next thing you know, Stafford's traded. So they just lost out on it because they really I guess, they didn't really offer their first-round pick either, but they ended up losing out on Stafford because they just kind of sat on their hands.
I'm assuming a lot of those other teams who didn't offer those first-round picks, they might just be waiting to see what happens with the Texans situation, which now it's like, you see what happened for Stafford. I can only imagine what it's going to take to get Watson out of Houston.
Nobody can afford it now. Stafford got 2 first rounds, a third, a franchise quarterback-ish, you can argue that because the kid's been in the league 6 years, already been to a Super Bowl. I mean, he's 26 years old. That's still someone that you can build a franchise around. What are you going to give up for Watson? Just move here's my franchise?
You got to give up. Now you're talking at least 3 first-rounders, easy.
Right.
So I have no idea what it's going to take to get that, but the Lions got a haul for Stafford. Here's the interesting thing. There are people who are mixed on Stafford saying that the Lions did not get enough. How do you have mixed views on Stafford and say that the Lions did not come out on top? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to be honest. When I first saw this, I heard the Jared Goff thing, and I thought it was just a straight, clean trade.
Oh, my God.
And then on top of that, you start hearing all these, and I was like, wait, what? We did – and then, okay.
Yeah, it was my Stafford experience. We went to the Let Us Play rally in Lansing on Saturday, and then I went up to check on. I have this little cabin up north. It's like this little square box, but I hadn't been there in 3 months because we've been busting our ass here. So I wanted to make sure pipes didn't burst and stuff like that. I got up there. It's so dark. It's so quiet. I fell asleep at 9:30. Woke up at 11:30 to my phone, just 70 missed messages. Stafford's gone. Stafford's gone. It was crazy, and it happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just still amazed at this deal. I don't think people understand the magnitude of how they can really build this team out over the next couple of years. But the one thing that was the funniest of it all, Stafford said, "I will accept a trade anywhere but New England."
This is great. This is great.
I mean, they did hire Matt Patricia back over there, so he's already played with basically the Patriots rejects for the past couple seasons. So he's like, I've been there, done that. I'm good.
I'm gonna go chill at my California home that I already got and go play with the Rams. It sounds a little bit better.
And go play with my good buddy Clayton Kershaw. I'm so glad we don't have to hear that no more.
Oh my God! But that is gonna be so played out in LA. God, those poor people in L.A. have no idea what's coming because they've never heard it. When Clayton Kershaw's pitching, nobody gives a shit that he grew up with Matthew Stafford. When Stafford's playing, everybody cares that he grew up with Clayton Kershaw. So out there in L.A., it's going to be a completely different situation.
I'm just so glad we don't have to hear that anymore.
Yeah. Where did Jared Goff? Who did he grow up with? Do we know? Do we have anybody famous that Jared Goff
where did he grow up in?
Let me look. Jared Goff and friends.
Right, Jared Goff and friends. What I love about this trade, though, is that, like I said, it happened so quick. I guess six people hopped on a Zoom call. It was a 6-way Zoom call, and that's what got this whole thing rolling and got it going. So now the Lions are sitting here. We got Jared Goff moving forward in the future. We have 2 first-round draft picks coming up over the next 2 years, which is something we can look forward to. And honestly, I don't know if Stafford can stay healthy for the next 2 years for the Rams. Like that, to me, if I was the Rams, that would have been A, B, C, and D of all the things I was worried about because, as you know, last season he only played 8 games. This season he was hurt here and there. He made it through most of the games, but we still had to rely on our backup quarterback at times. I mean, the Rams took a hell of a risk. Like, they are going all in to win a championship, and if they don't do it in the next 2 years, they've destroyed their franchise.
Oh yeah, they don't have a first round draft pick over the next like 7 drafts, 8 years, something like that. So also too, which I really found interesting, Stafford's not getting an extension. They're just going to ride those 2 years out.
Right.
So it's really a 2-year window. If it's Super Bowl, or you're probably seeing McVay and those guys fired. I mean, dead serious.
Yeah.
Because they really mortgage their future. And
well, they have no excuses. They got like the #1 defense. They have all the weapons on offense. They have like a top 3 offensive line according to Pro Fantasy Football or Pro Football Focus. So really, if they don't win, then yeah, they should be fired. You've been giving every single weapon under the sun, and now you supposedly have the quarterback, which we've seen here in Detroit. He struggles come playoff times and crunch time. But we've always heard if he has a running game, he'd be better. If he had a defense, he'd be better. If he had a better offensive line, if he had a better offensive coordinator, if he had a better defensive coordinator, if he had a better OL, like if he had all these things, he'd be a winning quarterback.
But that's the thing that I don't like about it. Where they like, if Stafford had this, if Stafford had that. There are other quarterbacks who have led their teams to playoff victories with less than what Matthew Stafford has. That is not an excuse. I'm sorry. I'm always going to view him as I'll say my Terrell Owens type of my quarterback because that's the I've watched football growing up, but that's the guy who's been the consistent mainstay over 12 seasons. But he didn't get it done.
Right.
He's goose egg in the postseason. And here's the thing about his stats in the postseason. Each playoff game he played, his numbers regressed in each single one.
And that's really what it shows, though, because, I mean, how many years? It's been 12 years of standing up for him in every single angle. And it's like, I love Matthew Stafford, everything he's done for the team, but it's just, it reaches a point where when you get something better on the table, you got to take that chance on it. And that's why I'm so excited about this, because I feel like there's just a lot in the future that we have to be excited about. I mean, you look right now, we got this entire new coaching staff. That's a great start. Now we got to go out there and get these players because, I mean, you look at this draft and how important this draft is. Like, we need a lot of positions. We need a lot of help. So it's going to be interesting to see what they all bring to Detroit.
It is.
Also, one more thing. I'm going to go back to it. Jared Goff is only 26. He's coming over here with a chip on his shoulder. He just got traded for a guy who's never won a postseason game, and he's 3-3 in the postseason and led his team to an NFC championship and Super Bowl appearance.
Did you see what he said when he left?
Oh, well, I mean, I seen the one part about him. He's glad to be a part of a team that wants him and is going to embrace him, and he's excited to join Dan Campbell's staff.
Yeah, he said, quote, "I'm just excited to be somewhere that I know somebody wants me and appreciates me." So things you take it back to the Jeff Fisher era with the Rams. Fisher dogged him, said he wasn't a good quarterback. He was awful. Like, that's the reason the offense couldn't take off. Then McVay comes in, the quarterback whisperer, turns him into a productive quarterback. They got to a Super Bowl. They won a playoff game this year with him. And then you don't appreciate the guy. Like, as a Lions fan, if a quarterback got us to the Super Bowl and, won a playoff game this year, I would have a little more respect for him.
Probably if a guy wins a Super Bowl, wins a playoff game here in Detroit, he probably has a statue in front of Ford Field.
Go forever in this city.
Oh, I have a tattoo on my ass. Like, that's what I'm doing. Whoever wins it.
And also, he won a playoff game, this past playoff game, with a broken thumb.
Right.
Come on.
Let's go to the comments real quick. We got Stafford is too much of a team player. Coach says run this, so I'm going to run this. Rodgers, a lot of people are talking about Rodgers in the chat and about how he may wind up with the 49ers. Kirk Cousins has it better than Stafford and Goff the past 3 seasons, and that's true. I mean, he's had his running game. He has a defense. He's got great wide receivers, and he still can't get it done.
Yep.
So I love this trade for the Lions. When I woke up and I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. Like, my God, we just went Detroit all over L.A. and just robbed them.
Oop, my bad.
Oh, you're good, Kory. Go ahead.
I like Gary saying Goff needs a coach to teach him mechanics, just like Josh Allen did this past season.
That's true.
That's very true.
I mean,
Good
they
point,
have
Gary.
Mark Brunell in as the QB coach. We've never seen him on that level, so this is going to be pretty interesting. But Mark Brunell, when he was the Jaguars quarterback, led the Jaguars to an AFC championship game. So who knows?
Who does know? So it's kind of a little bit of talk on Matthew Stafford. Obviously, we're going to touch on it more throughout the day, but I think overall, you agree we won the trade, right?
Oh yeah, I think both teams won the trade as far as what they wanted is what they wanted, but in terms of value, we fleeced them.
Yeah. Joey, do you think we won the trade?
I think we definitely did.
And are you sad that Stafford's gone? Like, all jokes aside,
Kory's a punk because Kory over here is like, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Guess what's the number 5th thing expected to happen? Stafford stays in Detroit. And I was like, wait, what? and then Kory comes up to
you
me
were
and says,
talking about
guys,
landing spots?
it happened. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, and then he mentioned something else. But it's like, I knew this day was going to come. So I look at what we got in return for Matthew Stafford. I'm happy for him. I hope he does well. But now it's about us. And that's all I care about is us.
This trade still isn't official until March 17th at 4:00 p.m.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day? Oh, man.
So I'm not saying it's going to fall off the rails, but it's happened before.
You know what's funny? Like, you've been making announcements of like Deuce Staley and all that stuff joining the staff, and then ESPN will announce it like 4 days later when it's official. And we're like, yeah, we've been talking about it for like 5 days here on the Woodward Sports. What are you doing? Kory already had that. Hey.
You're late to the game.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more about Matthew Stafford. Plus, we're going to talk about the Let Them Play rally. We got some video from that and some great pictures to show you. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So we've kind of been talking about Stafford a lot, but let's push the ball down the field, shall we? Forward down the field. A mighty team that will not yield. Rah, rah, rah. God, I miss being in Ford Field. He's screaming that at the top of my lungs, drunk off of $30 beers. I miss that feeling so much.
It's coming back. It's coming back soon.
Do you think that Goff is our future, or what is the Lions' future with Goff? That's my question to you.
I think it's too early to tell. I think that you let Goff go out and play this season, see how he looks, how he gels under Anthony Lynn as Anthony Lynn's offense and Dan Campbell's scheme, and let it play out. I think he has the opportunity to be that guy because he's only 26,
right?
And you don't know he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, so you don't know what type of aspects of his game he's going to work to improve on, and I think it's too early to tell, but again, if he does have a great season, it's only in the better interest of the Lions moving forward because they can just build the team in a different type of way.
I just hope we give him the help that he needs. That's really going to be the biggest thing because, I mean, yeah, he's obviously been a good quarterback throughout his career. He's had a lot of success. But for me, the biggest thing is, I mean, we don't know what this future is going to look like on our receiver core. So it's like we really got to draft well. And I hope we give him the weapons that he needs.
Yeah, with Goff, for me, it's very interesting because like I kept clowning the Lions because they were avoiding the word rebuild. They kept avoiding it, saying we're retooling. We're not rebuilding, we're retooling. And to me, this is the only move that they probably could have made that shows me that they are kind of just retooling. Like, this now isn't a complete tear-down rebuild where we're going to start a rookie quarterback next year, let him get his ass kicked and kind of learn the ropes of the NFL. This is more of a, okay, Adrian Peterson mentioned that maybe we just need a few more pieces here and there, and the Lions are pretty close, not that far away from what they need to be. And this may be one of those pieces because, like, we compared the numbers earlier, you know, like quarterback rating for his career, Matthew Stafford is like an 89. For his career, Jared Goff is an 85. So there's not a tremendous drop-off at the quarterback position if you're just going off of stats.
Yeah.
And obviously, he played in a McVay offense. It's different weapons. We know all that. But I can just go by the numbers that are presented to me. So that to me shows that, okay, now we can add our 7th pick, which me and you both like pay, right?
Yeah.
That's who I want. I want them to go defense, and a lot of people want them to do Parsons.
Parsons, another big one.
Yeah, linebacker with Parsons.
I would be fine with either one.
And those may be the little pieces that we're missing, and then we keep adding 2 first rounds next year. I'm not ready to just say, hey, Goff is just a waste. I don't know why we got the guy here. I'm ready to give this dude a chance to prove that he can be the man in Detroit.
I don't think that there's only one trans quarterback in the draft that we can say has the potential to be transcendent, and I think that's the guy that's going number 1, Trevor Lawrence. Everybody else, Justin Fields, you know he has potential to be great, but you know when you go on into the Trey Lance, the Zach Wilsons, the Mac Jones, it's like you don't know. So if they, like I said, they could really reshape this team to be something special if they believe that Goff is the guy that can at least just be like, all right, he's the type of quarterback that we need for what we're trying to build moving long term, and we don't have to necessarily, I don't want to say waste a pick, but use that pick on a QB right now. If we need a QB later, or we end up doing bad, it's gonna be another hot QB coming up in the upcoming drafts.
Yeah, I mean, there is every year.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it this year. There's like 5 hot QBs, and what, 1 or 2 is going to hit?
Yeah.
See, but that just shows how many great, talented quarterbacks there always will be in a draft, because these Trey Lances, the what's his name? BYU. Zach Wilson, and all these guys, like, they just come out of nowhere. So
Right.
that just shows there's going to be talented weapons. I still do like Justin Fields, but it's just, I mean, now we got a Jared Goff, and do we invest in him or not? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I know that we definitely have a lot of weapons that we do got to get this year.
And I'm really excited to see how they're gonna. I want them to go defense, but I'm also really excited to see who else they're gonna get in those latter rounds.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna really show me, okay, what type of draft is Brad Holmes gonna have as compared to what Quinn did, as compared to what Mayhew did before. Because a lot of Lions fans have that. They have that PTSD. They're like, it's the same old Lions, but they're not giving this new regime the time and the chance to put its stamp. One game has not even been played yet.
Yeah.
You can't go ahead and continue to scream for the Lions to have a new regime and to do things differently, but then when they do things differently, you're still saying same old Lions. It doesn't make sense to want change and then not let the change happen. Let them get their guys in, let them get the process going. Then if it sucks, come back and critique it. You don't have to just be so overly pessimistic off the gate just because you hear everybody else being overly pessimistic.
That's the easiest thing to be, and that's something we talk about all the time. Like, I get called a homer all the time. I get called a slappy all the time. But to me, the easiest thing to be is, oh, we suck. Oh, it's never going to work. It's like, okay, first of all, it works out for one team every year. So there's 31 failures every single year. Yes, the Lions haven't even gotten to that point of being one of the super failures, but it doesn't matter. Unless you're winning the Super Bowl, your season's a failure, essentially, right? Because that's why we're here. We're here to win championships. And I get so upset when people are like, oh, the Lions, they're the same old Lions. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, I don't like that. And it really doesn't matter what direction they go in. People are going to bitch. And like you even brought up over the weekend, I saw you post on your Facebook page that like everybody bitches about minority hires and stuff like that. The Lions went ham on minority hires.
I got to say this one because you brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up.
Thanks, man.
I do not understand the outcry for the Lions to hire diversity candidates. They go out and do one of the more, I want to say impressive, the more complete overhauls of diversity in the front office and on the coaching staff. And then those same people who were saying that the Lions need to go more diverse, you didn't come back and say, well, I have no faith that they're going to do right. Well, wait a minute. How are you going to cry about that? The Lions don't hire any black coaches or black GMs. They go out and they actually hire them, not promote them, go out and interview and hire them.
Right.
Find them, hire them, and then you're going to now say, I don't have any faith in the organization. It's like talking out of both sides of your mouth. It makes no damn sense to me.
It's covering your ass. That's what it's doing. It's like, well, either way, I'm going to be right. If they do well, yeah, I said they should have hired minorities. If they do bad, I told you these guys were going to suck.
Truthfully, you can't do this right. No matter what you do, it's like there's going to be someone that comes out and says something.
It's public opinion. There's always going to be a naysayer, but it seems like with the Lions, and obviously they have given us 70 years of reasons to doubt, and I won't just throw that out and act like that doesn't exist. But at the same time, eventually, you got to give new people a look, like how the stupid argument of OSU's never turned out a good quarterback.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's like, okay, well, this is a new quarterback, so he's a different guy completely. Like, the Lions have never turned out a winner. Well, this is a completely new staff, so it may be different.
My whole thing is that with you, this is not the same type of offseason that they've had before. You've seen them bring in football minds to make these football decisions. It's not like, oh, the Lions hired this guy, the Lions hired this guy. All the type of guys that they're hiring have a similar edge. Like Aaron Glenn, he played with an edge. They're talking about bringing in a Hines Ward to be the wide receivers coach. He had an edge, one of the best blocking wide receivers ever. And you're talking about Dan Campbell talking about kneecaps. Who took more kneecaps and patellas as a wide receiver than Hines Ward?
Oh, he was known for getting in fights, man. Hines Ward was a beast.
Deuce Staley, tough running back. They've hired a bunch of tough people. Just let it play out.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a quick little shout out. Something I did over the weekend. It was real cool. I got to go see Art's homies.
Yeah.
Downtown Fenton. I wanted to shout out Bridge Street Exchange. This place, I found out this is Art's little secret spot for all of his Carhartt gear. I see you, Art, over there sneaking in the back room. This place is freaking amazing. They got a back room, right at the back of the whole store, that's got just Carhartt everything. And you can see I'm a big Carhartt guy. A lot of local Michigan brands, a lot of local USA brands. And this shop is just amazing because it's a spot where if you're looking for gift ideas, ladies, you can go there. It's a one-stop shop that's got everything that you could get, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. Go check them out. Bridge Street Exchange, downtown Fenton. It's going to be my new spot that I like to shop.
Love it. So over the weekend, obviously, we're going to talk more Lions coming up in about 5-10 minutes. But over the weekend, we got to talk about what happened this weekend. The Let Them Play rally in Lansing. We went out there. Joey, you kind of give the background because you kind of got us involved with this, right?
Yeah, so a lot of moms were reaching out to me, and you got to love the moms. And when moms slide in the Facebook DMs, you better listen to them. You better listen to these moms. But it was all led by Jamie, and this woman is just an amazing mom. I got to meet both of her kids, and you see the way that this mom fights for not only her kids to play sports, but fighting for the entire state of Michigan to play sports. And it's just really just motivating because you see that this mom just realizes the greater meaning to what sports is. And I posted this over the weekend, and I said it's more than just a game because it really is. And after Stick, we were there seeing these students talk because in Lansing on Saturday, there was 20 student athletes that got to talk.
Yep.
And you hear their take, and it's not just about, oh, I want to go play football and I want to go play basketball. I love these sports. This is for my mental health.
Right.
This is what just gets me focused. I mean, it makes me perform better in school, and I'm the one that could say that. Like, without the extracurricular activities, I don't know what high school would have been.
Well, and then, you hear stories about that hockey player who tragically killed himself, and one of the reasons he cited was once he lost hockey and they took that away from him, he didn't have anything left to live for. And that's where, to me, my moral compass just starts to get a little skewed because, lives are lives. and I think it's important not to take these things away from kids, especially, you know, us all being former high school athletes. Not great high school athletes, any of us, but it was more about the team sport. It was more about, you know, being there with our family, our brothers, creating those bonds and friendships that last forever. And one cool part about this, Darren McCarty actually showed up. Art's got the video of it. Art, can you play Darren giving his speech at the Let Them Play rally?
Hey, anybody else think that Bill's just dying to play high school basketball again? All right, so we got one more adult, and then we're going to pass it on to our promise. All student athletes for the rest of this afternoon. So who I want to introduce right now? 4-time Stanley Cup champion from the Detroit Red Wings, who is soon to be a part of the Woodward Sports Network. Give it up for Darren McCarty.
I'm going to be really quick, guys, but I got the most championships in this state right now. Capital, I took that, so yeah, listen, and I think it couldn't have eloquently been spoken more, but what I'm here for is absolutely the mental part. I'm here for Michigan's favorite stepson, and everything that a lot of you students are going to have to go on the Googler, check it out, but there is history, but that's where you came from, and this is what you're all about, and this is what Michigan's all about, and I'm here because I get to do the coolest thing ever and be a facilitator. I'm a battery, you guys are my power, and this is the opposite. So if you ever think what it's like back in 96, 97, when you put a team together, when you get behind what is right and what is wrong, and I use that as culture in the Red Wing organization, this is it. So I'm here because Steve Eisenman's got a job to do, and all the rest of the guys and all the rest of the professional athletes who care about you, I'm here today to say let them play, right? And the mental health aspect. Please, Governor, go to the science. Go to the science, or like Mr. Simonson said, give us an explanation. We've done everything you've ever wanted us to do. Please let them play. I love you. I look forward to seeing you back and playing. Thank you very much.
Hey, throw some t-shirts out there, D-Mac, go ahead.
So it's always great when D-Mac shows up, and if anybody knows about mental health, it's Darren McCarty and what he's been through in his life. So that's why, to him, it was super important to show up.
Especially for these kids to see someone like Darren McCarty care so much. I mean, you see him coming up there saying that he's got the most rings. I mean, 4 Stanley Cup champions.
Yep.
Now, that's a winner right there. But it's just, when you see someone like that come out and support you, it makes these kids feel better. And just shows, I mean, what sports means to someone like him. He sees it. You know, the mental health side is just so important.
It's real big mental health thing. I mean, like you talked about, I wasn't the greatest high school athlete. I played LB, left bench. So, you know, I mean, I wasn't out there just knocking people's heads off. But at the same time, I don't know what would have happened with me if I didn't have high school football, because it was just something I got to go be with all of my friends every day. You know, sometimes I had some stuff going on at the crib. It was just that mental escape. Like, for those 2 and 3 hours of practice, I'm out there having fun. I'm out there escaping. I'm out there getting my exercise. And I can only imagine for athletes that are using this to go to pay their way through college.
Yep.
And just who really do need it for their mental health. You take that away from somebody, you take away their livelihood, their passion, and then you restrict it to they can't get out there. It's who knows what type of effect that can have on them.
Yeah, 2 speeches really stood out to me, and I know I'm biased with St. Mary's. I mention it all the time, but Joey was there, and these 2 kids that got up to speak for St. Mary's, one was Kareem Rozier, and the other, Pete, I don't know. Nwake. And Kareem Rozier, like, he was talking about how he plays AAU ball, and all around the country, every other state is playing basketball, and like, we're the only state that's not allowing this to happen really, or have a plan to get back at it. And he was just saying, like, the disparity that it's costing these kids with scholarships, and that it's only hurting Michigan athletes at this point to get looks, to get on tape, to have those games to where somebody's going to recruit you. And then when Pete spoke, it was just crazy, man. He was from Nigeria. He's an exchange student. And he was saying that, like, in his country, when you protest against the government, they will kill you, like literally kill you. And that's happened in his country. But he was happy to be on the steps of the Capitol, being able to speak his truth without fear of that happening to him. But at the same time, he was disappointed in the restrictions put on him. So, I mean, it's a very touchy situation. The thing where I get confused is, one sport's okay, the other sport isn't. 12 kids in a classroom is okay, 12 kids on an ice hockey rink is not.
It's not consistent.
Right.
It's like everybody just making up the rules as they go along, and the thing is, it kind of feels like there is something else playing here at times. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist person, but it's just like it's right in front of you. Nothing makes sense. Like my cousin, he plays AAU basketball. I'm not trying to put his business out there, but he's not in the same shape that he used to be. I'm talking about he's like
trying to put his business out there.
But he ain't.
Dude got thick.
But homeboy got thick.
Yeah, and it's like he's I don't want to call him a demon, but run up and down the court. I'll show you some old clips of him. He can play, but now he's not the same way he's active because the gyms are closed. When he's going out of the state to these tournaments because he can't play any tournaments here,
right.
He has to go to other places to play, and he's
That's
not
my
the same
favorite
player.
part. Like even when it comes to like restaurants, thank you that they're open, but it's like I was going to Toledo to eat because I was just like, all right, I'm fed up, man. I want to just go eat some dinner.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because a lot of our athletes here are doing that, and it's like you shouldn't have to go to the 49 other states. And I mean, listen, put political all to the side because that's got nothing to do with this.
There were people from both sides of the aisle there,
right? And like even when you talk about Governor Whitmer, it's like I applaud her for handling the situation the way she did in the beginning. There's some things that I don't agree on, but it's like when you put someone in a position like this, it's a lot. You put a lot on them, but put all of that to the side. It's all about mental health. It's all about what Kory mentioned, where this is going to be the only way that a lot of these students are going to get a college education, and that's by their performance on the court. And when you take away for basketball players the end of their junior year where they couldn't shine in the playoffs, and now it's looking like this entire senior year for them, it's just not right.
Right. And, we're throwing up some pictures right now. Joey's speaking in front of the whole crowd. There's lots of people there was 3,000 people there at minimum, and just the kids that got up there and spoke were pretty amazing. Like I liked to public speak when I was in high school. I competed in short storytelling and poetry reading for forensics. If you all didn't know that about me, that's probably the least gangster thing. Well, not the least gangster thing, but it's way up there.
It could be there.
I competed in poetry reading, and I made it to. I won states and made it to Chicago. So,
wait, what?
Yeah,
you won states for poetry?
I did. It's called forensics.
So you got a trophy?
No.
Where's the trophy at?
No, I placed in states to make it to nationals.
Oh, okay.
I didn't win the whole state.
Okay.
Matt Ziske won the states.
Damn it, you pissed, don't you?
Matt Ziske.
That's like me. That's like me in 6th grade. I'm the spelling bee runner-up. I'll never forget the dude that won it.
Right. Who won it?
Sasha.
Sasha? What was the word?
My word that I got wrong?
Yeah.
Catastrophe.
I can't even spell
I'll
catastrophe.
never forget that word. I'll never spell it wrong again in my life.
How do you spell catastrophe then, Joey?
Catastrophe? CATASTROPHE. I said it so fast. You can't even follow.
I can't fact check you either way. Thank you to everybody who came out to the Let Them Play rally. It was nice. The vibe was great. Woody was there. We brought Woodward the dog out for the rally. He had a great time meeting people, hanging out with people. So thank you guys very much, everybody that came out to the rally and everybody that supported us. Followed us on Facebook throughout the weekend. And thank you to everybody watching right now who's sharing this on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We appreciate you.
I do want to add one thing. I think you and Joy should also be commended too, because you took an unpopular position for some people and got on some people will argue whether you were on the right or wrong side, but you went and did something that could cause some controversy, and I applaud that because it wasn't about anything political. It was about what was in the best interest of the kids.
And that to me is what made it real easy. Like, I don't get in these political battles with people. I believe as long as you're a good person at the core, I don't care about the fringe shit, Yeah. Like, if you want to be a Republican, be a Republican. You want to be a Democrat, you want to be a libertarian, you want to be whatever. I don't care what you are. But to me, when it comes, I'll speak up for people I don't feel can speak up for themselves. And, like, when I was in high school, I would have loved the support of, a network showing up to support my cause just to get me to be back out and doing what I love. So that's what made it real easy for me. If this was just about adults, I'm probably not showing up. Honestly, I'm not showing up. Like I talk shit about like stuff like this.
Yeah.
But if it's for kids, I don't see how there's any debate that you should worry about kids' mental health.
For me, it's just the cancel culture world that we live in. I can't stand it. Like for me, like I've done so much charitable things throughout my entire career. I've done a lot of things that would make me a quote unquote good guy, right? But then I do this and I post about this and my messages it's ridiculous. And it's like, it got to the point that anybody that said anything wrong, I just go in and I block them, because it's like, if you have nothing better to do in your life than to go after people that are trying to bring good for students that are battling mental health,
right?
You're a horrible person
You're
yourself.
a horrible person.
And it's true. Like, I'm just over this cancel culture world that we're in.
Yeah, and like I said, this shouldn't even be something that we're debating about. Kids' mental health is an issue, whether it's just period.
But I'm gonna, and also just me speaking personally with my own issues with mental health. I think a lot of people are ignorant to it, and they choose to be ignorant to it because they don't want to have to face that there are people with those type of issues. And I wish that our country was not like that. We need to be more on the right side of the mental health issue. So
right.
I encourage everybody to educate themselves.
And for everybody who agrees with us on this, you're going to disagree with us about something else.
Right.
I mean, we're just human, and the point is we all get along. Like, we have these respectable conversations. Like, I don't agree with everybody in this room about everything, but I know you guys are all great men, and I trust you with my lives. And that's what's important, not worrying about, like, oh, God, Kory doesn't believe everything I believe. Like, how boring would life be if everybody in your life just, like, fell in line and walked the same path? It just, no thank you.
I tell everybody who comments on my Facebook, they're like, well, I disagree with you on this and this. I'm like, okay, disagreement is healthy. Just you disagree with my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm going to hate you. If me and you thought the same on every damn thing, that means I can't learn anything from you, and you can't learn anything from me.
And that's the beauty of it, because, I mean, you look at Peter Nwoke from St. Mary's. When you hear him saying, back home, if I were to do this and have these opinions, they'd kill you. And it's like, in America, that's the beauty of it. If you want to hate what we like, or if you want to be against something that we're supporting, all power to you. I respect your opinion, too.
Yeah. As long as you're not hurting or infringing upon anybody else's rights, believe what you want. That's my stance.
Right.
That's as political as I'll get. Right there.
Is it?
Let's take a quick break. We got some great positive news to talk about. Whether you agree with it or not, you're going to love this. And it has to do with our man, Kory.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Kory. We're going to take about 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
All right, so as much as Kory just wanted to throw some nice thoughts to me and you, Joey. I mean, can we give it up for Kory, everybody? Kory! So obviously when the Woodward Sports Network kicked off, Big Sean did us a solid, made a video for us, and that's where we got the Woodward Sports Let's Go from, right?
Yes.
And then over the weekend, Sean has a charity. What's it called?
Big Sean. It's the Sean Anderson Foundation.
Yep. And all of a sudden, a picture pops up on their Instagram.
Of a familiar face.
Of a guy we all know, we all love. And Kory, it was you.
Yeah, I was back there doing my doing a story, the one I posted about, man, I can't remember what story it was already. But breaking down the Lions, hierarchy, and then I pick up my phone and I'm like, huh? All right. And I'm like, oh crap. Sean Anderson Foundation shouted me out on their Freestyle Friday. I immediately go and enjoy. I'm like, what do y'all know about this? And
nothing. This is all on Kory. And I want to read this Instagram post from the Sean Anderson Foundation. It says, we are so proud of our guy, Kory. He is a pure example of a Detroit. Wait, no, that was me. All heroes. That's what I wrote. I shared their post, but their post said, all heroes don't wear capes, but Kory Woods definitely does. Kory Woods is a Detroit journalist and a photographer that is excelling and killing the game. He is the content producer at Woodward Sports Network, and the people of the city love him. Check out Kory Woods. Hashtag one man can change the world. Hashtag Detroit brands. Hashtag Detroit. Just so proud of you, Kory.
Yeah, that hashtag one man can change the world.
Yes.
That hits deep, man.
Yes.
That's it, you know what? It's pretty crazy because Sean actually helped out my fraternity about a decade or so ago. We had a showcase for our at school. So many of the performers just backed out on us, and then at the last minute, Zeno gives me a call like, "Hey, y'all still got that date open?" And we was like, "Yeah, but we don't have what Sean wants because Sean wanted, a number, and we had like 3,000 less than that." Zeno hangs up the phone, calls back, and says, "We're about to send over the contract and writer."
Awesome.
And Sean came in. Do you remember when Sean did that show with Wiz Khalifa at the Majestic, and they said his performance was like so-so?
This was like way beginning.
back.
Way.
So I guess Sean wasn't satisfied with that performance. He came to our showcase. He killed it. It was just like one of the best shows I've been to. And then afterwards, we almost got a violation because Sean stayed after and signed every fan's autograph.
That's amazing.
People are saying in the comments, we got to get you a pair of buffs, man. We got to get Kory some buffs.
Nah, because I know about buffs in the city. Those got bodies on them. I'm straight.
We're working in Birmingham, man. You're good.
Yeah, but when you step out of here,
give me a pair of Ray-Bans. I'm straight. I don't need buffs.
No, but that's awesome, Kory. You're continuing to impact the city. Like, you also got some good news from the Lions over the weekend. So, just very proud of you, man. Like, just good job.
For like an honest question, Kory. You see this post, you go to work, obviously go home after work. Like, when it really set in and sunk in, what was your feeling like?
I'm going to be honest. I do appreciate stuff like this because it's always great to get recognition of what you do. But one thing that I've learned and I've seen so many of my peers do, I try not to get too high or get too low.
Yes, sir.
Let it motivate me enough to just keep on working. And that's just really it for me. But not that I don't appreciate it, just that I just
for sure
don't try to live in the moment longer than the moment.
Right. No, that's good for any walk of life. Football player, journalists, and people are also shouting you out for predicting the Royal Rumble this weekend, too. Good job on that, Kory. You had a big weekend this weekend.
Yeah, I predicted the Royal Rumble and did not go on my big bookie and place them bets. and I got both of them right.
Damn.
My favorite, though, is everybody commenting saying, ever since you got that clean lineup, life has been good.
Rob Parker knew what he was telling you, man.
Shout out to Moose.
We got to give a shout out to growgreenmi.com. They got their dank deals going on right now with soil, with nutrients, with lights, whatever you need to get your grow room up and going or to keep it going and to keep it growing better. Go to growgreenmi.com right now. And if you want to call them, mention Woodward Sports and they'll hook you up with a free t-shirt. We love the guys at Grow Green. They were actually going to help us out with our studio lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have grow lights in here as our studio lights. Just some fun things going on with them, plus all the stuff that they have going on locally. We just love to support local people, and thank you guys for supporting local. GrowGreenMI.com is where you need to go today. Joey, you want to get into your news? It's almost 9 a.m. We got to hit Joey's news.
Yes, the biggest news of them all was the Detroit Lions have made a trade with the LA Rams. Jared Goff coming to Detroit, Matthew Stafford going to LA for the Rams. But in that trade, we also got a third-round pick in 21, first-round picks in 22 and 23. So we got a lot out of this deal, and I'm excited about the future. We got to recap the NFC getting the W, beating the AFC in the Madden Pro Bowl. Kyler Murray won the MVP, and it was just so cool seeing them playing video games. And, of course, Snoop Dogg. You got to love Snoop Dogg. And then Marshawn Lynch was great. Them two together was just super fun. You can see a good video clip from them two on our Instagram right now, at Woodward Sports. Pistons and Red Wings. Yeah, about them two.
0-3 for the weekend?
0-3 for the weekend.
Yeah.
The Pistons lost by 27 to the Warriors.
Ouch.
We got the Denver Nuggets tonight at 9 p.m., and then the Red Wings lost 2 games against the Panthers. But let's talk about the good news. The good news is that we can go eat at restaurants, guys. Restaurants are open. This has been how many weeks? It's been a long, long time.
I don't even remember the last time.
I don't.
It was, I believe, back in the aughts, the aughts when we could actually go to a restaurant. Dude, the last meal I had was awful at a restaurant.
Which one did you go to? Shout them out. Go ahead.
Wahlburgers. It was.
Oh yeah, you told us about that.
Is horrible.
I went there, like me and my boy Rover. It was like, you know what? This is our last meal. Like the restaurants are closing tomorrow, and I think we were the last people in the restaurant, so they were just trying to hustle to get us out. But dude, it was just like, you specialize in hamburgers. I should be able to get a good hamburger, but nothing.
The thing about a place like that is, I'm a milkshake guy, right? Their milkshakes are fire. But then it's like the simple thing of the burger, like at least do your job.
Right.
You're known for these burgers.
Only thing good at Wahlburgers is the fries. That's it.
Yeah, they got good fries too.
Yeah, well, I'm dying to go to like a good sit-down meal.
Yeah.
So we got into it a little bit earlier about Jared Goff and the Lions, and now that the Lions have Jared Goff, where do you think they should go in the draft? Do you still, I mean, Joey, I know you were leaning Justin Fields still. Does this change your perspective on who the Lions should take at number 7 overall?
My thing is, I still like the athleticism that a Justin Fields would bring. And it would be a fun style and a nice change to the Lions' offense. So with that said, if a Justin Fields is still available when the Detroit Lions are up, I'm still taking him.
Okay. So then you're sitting him behind Goff for what, 2 years?
Probably.
See, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like with Goff, I want to see him. You know, I don't want to go off of what I know. I want to see him and how he plays, because if he's doing well, then obviously you got to ride with him.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields, I still love.
I definitely think they need to entertain going defense with this pick. You got, like I said again, sound like a broken record. Goff is 26.
Right.
You can still grow with him. If he's not the QB, you have multiple first picks over the next couple of years where you can go ahead and address that quarterback situation. But you go out there and see what he has and try to go ahead and build around that. Since the word that we're using right now is retool, go ahead and get those other pieces to help him out, see what you can get in free agency, work something out to bring back Galladay. And you never know what you may have. Goff just may be the guy who needed a change of scenery. Things already look like they were breaking down with the Rams. I say you go ahead and see what you got with them.
Yeah, and for me, you know, we both had the Lions going defense, and obviously the offense was not the problem last year. It was not. Our defense was almost historically bad in many ways. So to me, you still got to focus on defense this year. And that being said, though, if like a Justin Fields is sitting there at 7, it's going to be very hard to just be like, I don't know, maybe we'll wait till next year so there's a better prospect.
You would do it?
I don't know. Like,
quarterback is the most important position for a team. And, like, you look at other needs, a wide receiver, linebackers, I feel like you could get those later on in the draft.
Yeah, but can you get the elite guys later on in the draft? And that's, you know, this is where having Brad Holmes as a GM and as a talent scout, like, this is where we're really going to see him pay off, hopefully, is him identifying who he wants to draft. But all this being said, he identified Jared Goff as somebody to draft, and the Rams traded away, what, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks to get Goff. Mm-hmm. So the amount of picks that have been traded for this guy is absolutely unreal.
When you look at the Rams, too, they drafted him number 1 overall, right? 2016. The next 7 years, so we're looking to 2023, they don't have a first-round pick because they've traded them all away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just crazy.
That's why I'm saying, like, if they don't win in the next 2 years, they have mortgaged their future.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys are getting fired.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, again, with Goff, I think what you have with him is somebody – first off, he did turn the ball over a lot, but Stafford turned the ball over a lot too. They're like kind of like you picking hairs. They're like 10 picks apart over the last 4 seasons.
Okay.
Maybe like 12 picks apart. I think that with Goff, if they put the right pieces around him, I'm not saying they can be a playoff team next year, but you might be able to see enough potential in Goff where they don't necessarily have to draft the QB anytime soon. But to your point, if you go through your workouts with Justin Fields and he happens to fall there, you have to entertain it, because then, all right, you have a quarterback who is actually the quarterback of the future anyway on your roster, and then you could get rid of Goff with minimal risk. So it's really they're in a really interesting spot.
Yeah. They put themselves in a great spot, actually, man. Like, they have options, and options are always good. And one thing that we kind of talked about in our group chat over the weekend is if the Lions can finesse trading Goff for more picks, like, they have really just bullied this trade through. Because even if you get another second rounder for Goff maybe down the road, or, Washington panics and they need to get a quarterback, Goff could fit in Washington and do just fine. You could probably steal, package Goff in a second for a first from Washington. Now all of a sudden we got 3 first-round picks for this guy.
Well, I don't know if from what I'm reading, I don't think they will be able to move him until next season.
Next season?
Yeah, because of just the way the cap hit. Because with Stafford is one thing, but they said now that we have Goff, if we were to trade Goff before this, things top off, the cap hit would be deadly.
Yeah, but in the second year, I hear it's only going to be like $10 million.
Yeah, but next year if they trade him,
yeah,
we good. So if he has a good season this year, or at least a respectable season this year, and you flip him again and get more picks, boom. So it's interesting to see which way they go.
And I like the position that we're in with this, truthfully, because what is it next year with the $10 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we're in a good position.
Yeah, and if we're not trying to build today, $10 million cap hit isn't really the end of the world. It's like a good safety that we probably couldn't get or something like that for 1 year. It's a 1-year guy if it's a good player. So you're really not losing a ton if you get rid of him after year 2. But I got to be honest, this is where the optimism in me comes in. I want to see what Goff has. I haven't watched enough Rams game and enough Goff film to know how he really compares to Stafford. That's something I'm going to get on this weekend or this week, is just watch a lot of Goff film to see what he does in that offense. Because Cooper Kupp, hell of a wide receiver, got to have the quarterback throwing you the ball. Robert Woods, hell of a wide receiver, got to have the quarterback that throws you the ball. Tyler Higbee, good tight end, quarterback has to get you the ball. So at some point, you got to give Goff some credit for not only getting him to a Super Bowl once, but winning multiple playoff games.
And truthfully, I don't care who it is. When you're an NFL quarterback, no matter what your weapons are, you're still a talented quarterback if you're doing well out there.
Right.
Yes, great receivers is going to make it a little bit easier for you, but I'm excited, to your point, to see what Goff can do for us now that we got him.
Question, do you guys think the Rams, that wide receiving core that Goff had, is better than the one Matthew Stafford just had this past season?
Had this past season?
Well, over the past couple of years.
We weren't healthy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd take that. I'd take that wide receiver core. Woods and Kupp are perennial top 15 wide receivers.
Okay.
Are you asking that because you're saying did Jared Goff make him look good?
No, I'm not. I was just asking this question because I do like the potential of what Galladay and Hockenson can be, as they grow.
I think that's the only position we have them at is tight end. I think, Galladay and Woods they're different types of wide receivers, but they're both very productive wide receivers. And then Marvin Jones and Cooper Kupp are almost identical wide receivers when it comes to how they play, receptions that they get. But so, outside of the tight end, I'd take Hockenson over Higbee. But outside of that, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Thanks, guys. So, Joey, talk about the Aldo Eye Center real quick.
I love them.
Yeah?
Dr. Yaldo's got a soft place in my heart. He's honestly, there's not many doctors that you could say that turn into your friends, but he really is. He's one of those guys. He's always out there in the community supporting great organizations and just what he's done for us. Going to get LASIK from him, I was terrified at first, but then you get to meet Dr. Yaldo. He makes you feel so comfortable, and that's the biggest thing. When anybody's touching your eyes, I don't care who it is, you got to be comfortable with that because it is scary at first. But then I'm here telling you that it only took me 5 minutes, and then I was back to work that same night. It's an easy thing to get done. So call for your free evaluation at 1-800-398-EYES or go to YaldoEyeCenter.com.
So now that Matthew Stafford is off the board, that leaves a couple other quarterbacks wondering where they are going to land. And obviously the biggest name, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Deshaun Watson. Now that we know what Matthew Stafford got, Watson's going to require a bit, but there's also talks of Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold, lots of people moving around this offseason. Who do you think the next quarterback to move is going to be?
I think it's going to be Watson.
Yeah.
I think that right now that the Eagles have shown that they're going to believe in Carson Wentz, which I disagree with. I would try to move him. But Deshaun, thing is, I don't know who's going to mortgage all of those picks. Somebody should,
right?
Because he's worth it. I just don't know where he goes. But I think he's the next guy to go because that situation it's not repairable.
No. It's funny because they brought in their new head coach after the quarterback said he wanted to leave, and the new head coach is like, yeah, I know that. I just came here anyways. He's not going. And then, the GM saying, nah, he's not going. And the quarterback's being like, I'm out. I'm going. I'm going. So that is a weird situation.
And in the new era of social media, once you remove all of your social media association with the team, you're done with them.
Yep, that's how you publicly break up with a team now.
Yeah.
You just get rid of them from your profile.
But like as a head coach, like David Culley, for example, I mean, you gotta say that. Like you can't say, "Oh, I'm coming in knowing that Deshaun Watson ain't gonna be here." No, you're gonna play with the weapons that you got, and hopefully, something good could come out of it for your team.
Yeah, it's kind of what Dan Campbell knew coming in, though. They knew that Stafford wasn't going to be their quarterback. Then they got here, and Stafford was still their quarterback, and they're like, oh, wait, we were told he was going to be gone.
They knew this was happening.
I think Stafford knew well before the last game of the season. Like, this isn't a 1 week decision. This is I've been thinking about this not only this year, I thought about it last year. I'm sick of the media. My wife isn't happy here. It's cold.
You think too, that last game, he should not have played. But then, we even talked about it on the show. And then he does end up playing, obviously for that reason. He wanted to be out there one more time for Detroit.
And then the commentary you heard in the Sights and Sounds video that the Lions posted, they knew that the writing was on the wall, and they otherwise they wouldn't have let some of the. I think if they didn't know that the writing was on the wall before the end of the season, some of those sound bites don't make that video.
Oh, when him and Marvin Jones are like, "Let's go do it one last time together," it's like, okay, guys.
What does that mean for the season?
Yeah, no. And honestly, that was one of the takeaways was there's no reason for Matthew Stafford to play in this game. He has nothing to gain. The Lions have nothing to gain. The only thing that can happen is he's going to get hurt, and it's going to affect his future. And then he played, and we kind of knew why. He just wanted one last hurrah with the guys, which speaks volumes to who Matthew Stafford is.
And I respect him because of that, because like you said, he didn't have to play, but the last game, he got knocked out of the game. So he did not want his last memory in a Lions uniform being taken out of the game. So
right.
And that aspect, I got to give him his respect for his time here.
So my last question about Stafford, and then we'll start focusing on the Lions' future, not the Lions' past. How will you remember Matthew Stafford as a Detroit Lions quarterback?
Oof.
Oh man, hate to say it, I'm gonna remember as a guy who didn't get the job done. That's just it. He was a good regular season quarterback, a good quarterback to just keep the Lions organization respectable at that position. But zero division. He led us to 0 division titles, led us to 0 playoff victories. Each of his playoff games, he performed worse. I'm just gonna remember him as a guy who didn't get it done.
Okay, Joey, how are you gonna remember Matthew Stafford as a Lions quarterback?
We can't take that away, numbers is numbers. He didn't get the W's for us. I'm going to always remember him as the quarterback that left it all on the field, because when you see a guy like him, just the injuries from the beginning of his career with the Browns when he was mic'd up. You see the hits that he takes, but he still wanted to finish the game, leads them to victory. There's just a lot of moments that I really appreciated with him, and I'll be thankful for it. But now it's time to move forward. So I'm thankful for everything that he did, but you can't take that away, is that he never got us the playoff wins.
Yeah, and that's similar to how I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember him as a guy we tried to put too much on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had talent. He's very talented quarterback, the most talented quarterback the Lions have ever had. but we tried to make him the franchise. And to me, that was the biggest mistake the Lions ever made with him. Because Stafford, to me, if they would have made him a game manager coming out of the gate instead of trying to make him a Patrick Mahomes where he's taking over games, throwing for 500 yards, lighting up the defenses through the air, I think you get better value out of him in the long run, too, because under that Mike Martz offense, when he threw for 5,000 yards, he was taking hit after hit after hit after hit, and that's how that offense was designed. Let the guys run, and, we'll just get the ball out. But at the same time, Stafford was just never the guy that you could put the team on his back and he would lead the charge and take you over the hump. And my biggest knock on him through his whole time here in Detroit, he never stood up on that podium and had a fiery moment. Yeah. Ever. 12 years of losing and never stood up there, pounded his fist like, this is not good, right. And you saw it in those, mic'd up things that he did have that fire. He did have that leadership. But when it came to press conferences and stuff like that, it was really, we'll try better next time.
He was a company guy.
It was a lot of coach talk.
Yeah.
And I want a fiery player that's going to scream and yell. Like, say what you want about Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. When they scream and yell on the sidelines, like, you get attention.
But especially, the quarterback, that's what you want out of them.
Right.
You want that out of them.
Yep.
So,
no, I want to see some anger. I want to see some fire. I want to see some energy. So that's how I'm going to remember Matthew Stafford. And shout out to everybody that's commenting right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you guys for sharing this morning. Thank you guys for getting us out there and letting people know about Woodward Sports. We got a funny story coming up next, and we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, I can't believe this happened. It was right here in Detroit, too, right?
It's a Detroit story.
Yeah, it's a Detroit story. So hear what we're talking about coming up next.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So Joey sent me this story over the weekend, and I thought it was hilarious. Joey, do you want to get into it? Go ahead. I'll let you set it up. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. Joey, go ahead.
So I just see a headline, and it just says, Detroit woman has her porch stolen while at work. And I read this, and then I start watching the video of India, just a sweet young lady who has to come home from work one day to her entire porch gone. And you hear her talking about her whole porch being gone, and she had like a green porch, I think is what she said. It's just like, who's going to take a porch from your house? Like, for real?
We've heard of porch pirates stealing stealing little packages off porches. But how the hell do you roll up? Do you got like a flatbed that you just pick this thing up on and take it with you? How do you steal a whole porch? Only in Detroit.
That's what I thought. That was my first thought, was only in Detroit.
Kory, you ever had your porch stolen?
A porch? My jaws just dropped to so. How do you lift a whole porch? Like you the Hulk or something?
Dude, this is a big space too. Like, you see like the missing part in this video. Like, this was not like a little baby wooden porch. This is a big ass porch.
So we got her on the line, right? Art over there. She's good to go. Can we hear her? Hello,
India. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, do you mind if you spin your phone sideways real quick so we can see you full screen?
Can you see?
But India, can you please walk us through this? You're at work and you come home. Just walk us through this day.
I was walking up to the stairs and I tripped. I mean, it was dark outside. I tripped. And I looked down, I had tripped. I guess when they took the porch, it had kicked up some trash, or they left some trash behind, because it wasn't like that when I went to work. And I'm like, oh my porch is gone. I was in complete shock, and I had been posting about it for a few days, and I guess it just went public this weekend. But I had been posting about it for about 4 or 5 days.
This is we're looking at you sideways, India.
Yeah, turn your phone back over.
Please turn it over. I'm trying to see you right now.
You got that screen lock on.
Oh yeah, you got the screen lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna walk you through this. Swipe down.
no,
hit
it's
the
okay.
unlock screen. But this just it's just crazy. It looks a lot better, by the way, India. It's just crazy that something like this could happen. And it's like, you hear a Detroit story. This really just sums it up for me. And I'm like, really, I've had enough.
Everybody keep asking, like, you know, did you do something to somebody to make them take your porch? That's not a normal, like, you get mad at somebody, like, oh, I'm going to take their porch. So I didn't do anything to nobody.
Are you sure, India?
I promise I didn't do nothing to make somebody take a porch. So it was.
What do you think they're doing with your porch?
I didn't know it, but I guess the railings on the porch was worth a little money. I don't know how much, but I guess the railings was worth some money. And then it was like a big porch. This is not no small porch. It's a big cement porch with railings. And it had the green, like, you know, carpet on it. And they took my porch.
India, I want to apologize for all of us sitting here laughing at you because I know this is not cool. You know, somebody to steal your porch because you were posting all over social media that you can't even find someone that wants to do this and replace the porch because we're in wintertime and it's too cold to do the work.
That was the whole thing. I think people thought that I was joking because I do have like rental properties, but this was a personal house. It was my house. And that was the thing about it. Nobody does outside work. So it wasn't necessarily, it was like, hey, I need a contractor that's willing to get out here, you know, and do this because I got to go to the side door with the kids now. So it was like, I was mad because it's an inconvenience and it's a big hole. Like, it looked bad.
So the one thing I'm thinking of is this is just like a farmer's insurance commercial. And I just see the guy like, oh, yeah, we've covered that before. Stolen porch? We've covered that. Did your insurance cover this?
That was the thing. I don't even have insurance.
Oh,
to learn, though. It's a lesson. And that was my actual 2021 goal. I'm like, you know, I got to make sure I got insurance on every single property, but it is a little bit expensive. And I'm not a big investor. I work at Chrysler. I go to work, you know, I get paid every week. And every week I might do something to a house or to my personal house per se.
I mean, when you think about insurance, I'm pretty sure nobody thinks about getting some insurance on their porch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you at home right now? I kind of want you to walk outside so I can see what this porch is looking like.
No, listen, so this is what happened with the house. So when I posted it, I guess it's on the east side of Detroit or whatever. I'm in my boyfriend's house right now. But when I had posted the house, like, it kind of had blew up and I had only cropped it out. But yeah, people been riding past my house and I was just like, I'm gonna let this die down for like 3 days.
Oh, man. Can you imagine just riding down the road and all of a sudden you're like looking and this truck's hauling something? You're like, wait, that's my porch.
People want to take pictures outside the house now.
Oh, come on.
Are you charging them? You better get that porch money back and charge those dudes.
The first day I took a picture and I had just went to work and I just left it alone. Then when I'm at home, I'm looking at the living room, I'm like, it's a lot of traffic on this block for no reason. That's when I realized, okay, it's a joke now because people laughing at my porch being gone.
Hey, India, is it cool if we come out there? We'll make poster boards. We'll say $10 a photo, and we're going to raise money. Everybody driving by, come take a photo with India's missing porch.
I saw somebody do that in Chicago. What is it, the Shameless Show? They charge people to, I mean, you know, like they want you to put like a donation to go on their porch.
Yeah, I think they do it at Hitsville and right off there on West Grand. Anytime you show up to take a picture on the porch, you should donate a little bit of money.
For sure.
And that, you know, I think this is just as important as Hitsville to Detroit culture.
I just don't understand who takes
a construction company that is coming out to the house to do the porch. So after I get the porch done this week, if I get enough money raised up, I'm going to get a new porch because he already agreed to do it. They took the measurements yesterday, so I'm going to take some pictures in front of my house and give y'all an update.
Awesome. We got to come over and hang out once the porch is done.
I really want to after the show today. Let's just go hang out there and see how many people come on by.
It's a nice house. I got I have a beautiful home, big, nice party yard. I don't know why they picked my house. I didn't do nothing to nobody though.
Well, your railings were just too nice. You can't have nice railings like that. You got to know better.
I'm just trying to figure out how did any neighbors not see that?
Right.
Okay.
Like, it's not quick to grab a porch.
Okay, so in the city, it's like this. If they take down the house next to you or demolish the house next to you, you get to own like the lot next to you. So in my house, I have a big lot, and so then the next neighbor, they have a lot. It's like every other house. So my direct house is pointed towards a lot. So everybody got lots that they're responsible for and stuff like that. So yeah, the porch didn't have nothing to look at. And then ironically, I had an appointment with, I'm not even gonna say their name, a cable company, to hook up my Wi-Fi, and they didn't hook it up. And I have Ring cameras, but they wasn't hooked up.
Oh, so close.
Damn. Well, listen.
Yep.
There is a GoFundMe for the material and the labor for this stolen porch for India. So we're going to share this link and help you out, India. Thanks so much for joining the Woodward Sports Network.
Thank you, India.
Thank you. We need to do an update when I get these porches, when I get this porch fixed this week, because it's going to be a big thing.
Heck yeah, we're going to have a porch party as soon as this is over, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring the 40s.
Yeah, hopefully
that was one of my favorite things.
Riding past my house.
They're going to be riding past like, oh, you see that new porch? It's dope. So thank you, India. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
Man, that would
imagine
if you just walk out of your house and just fall down because your porch isn't there. Well, that's just so wild.
Like what would be the craziest thing to walk home to missing?
A porch?
Yeah.
A porch? Or a house? Like, the only next step is the whole house they take.
It's just so random, though. What value does this porch for real? Like, what does it have?
I don't know.
It's going to be like a random red house with a green porch there.
It just seems so personal to take a porch from somebody.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do you just lift a whole porch out of just nowhere?
Got me on that one.
I don't know, man. Well, if I was a betting man, I don't think my bookie has this bet, but how many porches get stolen in a year? I don't know if that's a prop bet on my bookie, but they have tons of prop bets that you can play, and we were fiddling around all weekend. Adam did really well on like a 3-team parlay this weekend through my bookie, and if you're not in on the gambling craze that's going around, it is absolutely insane right now at the Woodward Sports Network, and my bookie will match your first deposit up to $1,000, 50%. So you put in $1,000, they'll give you $500 in free play, which is
easy money.
Easy money, right?
You're playing with the house money on top of that.
Right, you already automatically got a $500 house money, so just gamble away with that. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it just on pretty much everything. Fish always gives us random soccer games to bet on, so go to MyBookie today.
Question for you, Stick.
Oh, and Mitch Miller. We got to give it up to Mitch Miller. He had a big win, too.
Oh, he did?
Yep.
I got a question for you, though, Stick.
What's up?
So you talk about this, the over-under on how many porches stolen across the country.
Yes.
What's the spread on that one?
I don't know. I'm definitely taking the home team, though.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to make sure on that one.
Speaking of fun things that happened over the weekend, not besides porches getting stolen, the Pro Bowl was played on Madden, and it was an interesting setup, man. I thought it was pretty fun to watch. I watched a little bit of it. There were some great clips we got. Like this first one that I want Art to play is Marshawn Lynch. It's him talking trash after Hopkins caught a pass in the game, and he goes to Deshaun Watson. That's your boy. Just kind of talking trash to him. That was that first one I sent you, Art. Go ahead.
Check slant. Check slant. Bang out. Pick it up.
There it is. Hey, Deshaun, there go your again, Deshaun.
I love that, man. Just the trash talk between these guys. So there's like Marshawn Lynch, there's Snoop Dogg, there's Deshaun Watson, there's Bubba Wallace, all types of people playing. Jamal Adams playing in this game. And Marshawn Lynch, to me, is they need a reality show for Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn and Snoop together.
Yeah.
It's so good. But Marshawn, to your point, I mean, he's just such a funny dude.
Right.
It's just watching that was like so fun between them two.
Yeah, and another funny moment is they ran the same play 4 times in a row with a hurry-up offense. You know when you got somebody in Madden and you got them on the wrong defense, like they got like a 6-4 in and you got all your wide receivers in, you just keep huddling or you keep going no huddle.
And they got the worst what's it called? Audibles for defense. Like there's like the worst plays you could possibly audible to.
So, man, that's what you got to set them up.
Yeah, so they just kept throwing the ball to the tight end 4 plays in a row. Art, play that real quick. And you can see how pissed everybody's getting. Everybody does this during the game.
The clip that I have is Snoop right here. We could play that one.
Yeah, play that one then.
Yep.
Gee, run through there. Go ahead.
Hey, man, keep playing.
Another one.
I see you, bro. I see you. This street is bull. I can't even see.
Anybody else thinking, why? He's got to be balling enough to get a nice chair. That's the jankiest chair I've ever seen.
You think Marshawn Lynch gives a damn about what type of chair? He's from Oakland, man.
Marshawn is just pure comedy all the time. Man, look like, wait a minute, why does it look like he got my couch?
Right,
look at my couch.
So that was a couple highlights from the Pro Bowl. What did you guys say? I mean, when's the last time you watched the real Pro Bowl? Anybody?
Oh, I always watch it.
Really?
Just like a little bit of it.
I haven't
Not the whole
watched it
thing.
in like 6 years, ever since they went to the 2-hand touch format.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it might have been longer for me. I think it might have been a decade because it's just the Pro Bowl is just really not that interesting to me.
Yeah, but this actually made it interesting. It was kind of like when the NFL did a Nickelodeon game. Like it was something different. It was so 2021.
I just don't like when they do it. Like for me, NBA All-Star Weekend is by far the greatest. Like the way they do it, they got all these fun games and the dunk contest and all that. But then with football, it's like, why do I care to watch that now? Like the Super Bowl is next week. Why do they do that now? I didn't get it.
When it officially came about, like guys used to actually hit each other in the Pro Bowl, and then it became these guys started making so much money that they ain't gonna risk all that for a charity game, essentially.
Right.
Now they're just so it turned into, like I said, 2-hand touch. Like I think 2 years ago they put in the rule where you can't touch the quarterback, and like when the running backs get like wrapped up just by an arm, they blow the whistle. So it became everything but the greatest football players playing against each other.
But that's stupid, and here's why. The NFL makes so much freaking money where they could really just adequately pay those guys for the Pro Bowl and make it what it should be. I mean, that's the fact that they don't, to me, is an indictment on them.
No, it's not an indictment on the NFL. These guys have multi-million-dollar contracts. There's no amount of money you could pay them for one game to put their career on the line.
Especially when you look at like the injuries in NBA All-Star Game. Like, I mean, there's not really many injuries that ever happened in that.
No, and you could tell that's more of an exhibition. That's why the score is always 190 to 186.
Literally.
They're not really D'ing up. They're not playing hard ball. But I don't really put that on the NFL, though. I put it on every league because you see Major League has a problem with their All-Star game to the fact that they tried to make it, and they did make it, to whoever wins the All-Star games gets home field advantage in the World Series. Like, to me, that was the dumbest baseball idea ever.
That was stupid.
Because you play a whole season, 162 games, and they mean nothing because of an exhibition game?
Yeah, now that's just plain dumb right there.
And we got to say RIP to Sean Taylor, but a lot of people in the chat commenting right now, his hit on the punter, it's probably one of the last plays that I remember where it was like, all right, this is real football.
Sean Taylor was a G, man.
Sean Taylor had no off switch.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you don't want that, though, in the Pro Bowl. Like, you know, when I was young watching Barry Sanders play in the Pro Bowl and stuff like that, they would actually play. They would get hits. You would see, you know, it wasn't as aggressive as a real game, but it was competitive. Now, it's just not even worth watching. And, you know, NBA All-Star Game, I like. But to me, the skills competition out of all these weekends are what's the most important. When I see Drew Brees hitting a target from 40 yards away, like, that's the stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't need to see these guys go half-ass in an exhibition game.
It's pointless.
Right.
But I would like to see them put more emphasis on that skills competition. I think that if they kind of go that route and really build that up, that would be rebranded. It might be something that'll make that Pro Bowl week leading up to the Super Bowl a lot more fun for the fans.
Yeah, just put more money on it, man. That's all these guys care about is money. Just put more money, like $1 million for longest toss, $1 million. Like do a punt, pass, and kick competition for the NFL. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I mean, they have the money. The NFL prints money.
Yes,
literally. So I don't know.
The thing too, when you look at football, it's not a sport you can half-ass. Like basketball. No. You can lessen the defense. You don't have to drive, but you can still shoot far threes. It's way different.
Right.
Like football, I mean, how do you half-ass football? Like you're going to make a tackle, you can't. Your whole life you've been tackling the same way.
Right. Oh, you're just going to get hurt if you try to let up in football. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't let up. So out of all the All-Star games or Pro Bowls or whatever, what's your favorite sport?
NBA.
NBA
All-Star Weekend is one of my favorite things ever.
Nothing beats NBA All-Star Weekend. It's something else.
Yeah.
Even being there, you got to go to it.
To me, the baseball All-Star game I used to love because they would let the pitchers pitch and stuff like that, but now it's like everybody gets an inning. Like it's more like a Little League game where everybody has to play now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it used to be these are your starters, and if a bench player gets in, he gets in. Not, okay, you're on the team, everybody gets to play.
Right.
You know, that was part of it. I got to say NBA is probably my favorite All-Star game, too. They just put the most pageantry into it. Then you got the dunk contest. You got the three-point shootout. And that's what I was saying with the NFL. I'd like to see more of those skills competitions.
Now, I will say this, since you said the dunk contest, you brought it up, that's the one thing I would like the NBA to change. I would like them to put more money into the dunk contest because they already got every guy comes with a three-point contest. It's nothing, you're just shooting. But I think when you put that more money into that dunk contest, you'll probably attract some of the better dunkers because I'm sorry, I'm not going to go on no Skip Bayless type rant, but the fact that LeBron has never done a dunk contest, I think is criminal.
So soft. He always says injuries were the reason. Like, come on.
No, that's ego. Because if LeBron loses, then LeBron loses. I mean, Jordan was in the dunk contest.
And Jordan didn't win them all.
No, but yeah, no, I agree. Like to me, that's LeBron's ego getting in the way of providing us with greatness. Like he doesn't want to be out there getting clowned by Aaron Gordon. That's it.
I just don't understand it. Like the dude head goes above the rim still at his advantage. Now, I honestly would not want to see him do it now because I don't think that even though he can still jump out the gym, it's still not the same as when he was in his 20s.
Right.
But they need to put more money into that dunk contest. That was just my little side rant.
No, you're fine. A lot of people are saying the NHL All-Star Game and the skills contests are what they like. I like the NHL too.
That's fun too.
Like
you get
fastest
to
slap
puck
shot
work and all that. Yeah.
Eli Afraidy with 149 miles an hour. Like that stuff's fun to watch too. And when they sniper it, like they hit the little targets in all the goals.
That reminds me of Mighty Ducks. That one dude that's got the slap shot.
Oh yeah. What was it? Fulton? Was that his name?
I forget his name.
Yeah, I think that was it. So yeah, we just wanted to touch on the Pro Bowl and make sure that we covered that because I thought it was fun. I thought it was different. And now let's talk about the main event that's happening Sunday, the Super Bowl. And did you hear about the bet that was placed over the weekend?
Which one?
$3.2 million on the Bucks plus 3.5. Wow. 3.2 million. The payout would be $3 million on it.
Damn.
That means that if he placed that bet, he has enough to lose and don't not care.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I can't even imagine putting $3 million on a sporting event. I mean, I'm going to put probably like $100 on it, and I'll be sitting on the edge of my seat through my bookie. Could you imagine transferring $3 million and being like, yep, I believe this?
How did you do that? Like, I don't even know what that transaction would look like.
I just want that type of financial security in my life to just say, I'm not invest $3 million. I'm going to gamble $3 million.
Right.
That would be fun.
Play cash.
Imagine what that game, like watching that game feels like.
What would you put $3 million on? If you had to bet today on something, what would you put $3 million on? Because the Bucks plus 3.5, as much as I think the Bucks are going to do well in the Super Bowl, I don't know if they're going to do $3 million well.
Here's my thing with that. For I would do a money line bet for the Bucks, but it's just like with the point spread, those scare me because like what if they win, but like 2 or 1 point. That's what scares me with this whole thing.
Mitch Miller he would bet $3 million on the Red Wings to lose.
Oh, wow.
I mean, sadly,
that's
2 wins this season only.
Yeah, if you would have done the anti-parlay this weekend with the Pistons losing 2 and the Red Wings losing 1, you would have made some money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here just racking my brain on what I would bet $3 million.
Right, like what is such a sure thing that you would bet $3 million? But like you said, if this guy's got $3 million, I'm sure it's a small percentage of what he actually has.
Yeah,
or what if it's his whole life savings and he's just going all in?
Oh, then he's an idiot.
Hope that's not the case.
There's another guy.
What would you?
Me?
$3 million.
$3 million? I don't know. I honestly don't. Like, that's such an unfathomable amount of money to bet on something that I would bet on the Lions to have over 6 wins this season. That's what I bet on.
You'll never miss a Sunday game for sure.
Yeah.
Whoo, you're going to be watching tape on every other game.
Art beating Joik in Call of Duty. That's something you could bet $3 million on.
That's a sure bet.
Oh,
That's a sure bet.
I got a sure bet. I would bet $3.2 million that out of one of the 5 days of the week, Fish is going to have a fact from Australia.
Oh,
sports fact.
From Fox Sports Australia?
I'll double that. I'll double that.
Yeah, I'm all in on that. We got Fish Facts coming up today in about 9 minutes, so stick around for that. So, yeah, I mean, the betting lines on this, it's crazy that somebody put a $3 million bet, and it really didn't push the line at all. So it goes to show you that Vegas is pretty stern on this being pretty much a pick'em game. I've seen it at 3. I've seen the line at 3. This guy got 3.5, so I wonder if he was able to get that extra half by being like, listen, give me 3.5, I'll give you $3 million.
You can't negotiate that, can you?
I mean, if I'm a
$3
if
million,
I'm a bookie,
right.
I don't know. The bookie sets the, I don't know. I'd take that money. But damn, that is a crazy bet. And then there's another guy who has a chance to really cash in if the Bucs win the Super Bowl, because he made a bet last year and it was like 65-1 that they wouldn't win the division, and he thought he had some inside intel that Tom Brady was going to Tampa Bay, and there was 65-1 before Tom Brady got there of Tampa Bay to win the division, and then it was like another 65-1 for them to win the Super Bowl, and he bet on both of those last year.
Bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some insider. That's like insider trading, bro.
Like, for real.
Like, for him to know all that, get the no. Come on.
It's
Tom Brady's boy.
He explained it in the article when he got interviewed for it. Like, he knew that that Bruce Arians was not happy with Jameis Winston and all the turnovers. He knew that Tom Brady had just sold his New England house, and he just kind of put 2 and 2 together and figured it out.
It was Tom Brady the whole time.
Right. It's Jim Brady.
Yeah, Brady betting on Brady.
Giselle's sibling or something.
But he was smart enough to get ahead of that bet, and he put it in. And my God, man, if they win the Super Bowl, that dude is cashing out.
I need that kind of money. Damn.
Right. And he didn't even put that much. I think he put like $10,000 on the first one and like $10,000 on the second. Like, it wasn't a $3.2 million bet.
How rich are y'all to say like, oh, he just put $10,000
I know,
on
when
it?
I was
but the odds on that,
I was just talking about a $3 million bet. So when I said it,
That's
but
true.
yeah, in my life, I'm not putting $10,000 on anything.
Shoo. Stick saying $100 on this game got me thinking, like, that's my $3 million.
I still have an iPhone 6.
Yes, you do.
$10,000.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh, we know. Dude, we're there at the Let Them Play rally. I was like, hey, Stick, you got one job, right? Just Facebook Live. All right, I got you. 2 minutes later, my phone died. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I was like, you just told me it was at 60%. He's like, I know.
Yeah, when my phone gets cold, it just shuts down. So today, after the show, I am getting a new phone.
Oh, man.
No way.
Yeah.
You got to hit that. I'm praying that you win this $100 bet, Stick.
I'm coming up off the iPhone 6, baby.
To an iPhone 7.
Yeah. 7S.
They don't have those.
Oh.
He's so old. They got rid of the S like at your phone.
Really? Yeah.
25 years ago when your phone debuted.
This was the iPhone 6S, baby.
Yo, it's gotta be a 10 or above or we riot. Like, seriously. Like, I've texted Six so many times. He's like, oh, yeah, the text went through. I'm like, no, it didn't. You had a gerbil spinning on a wheel to get that text. Like,
listen, don't make fun of my phone, all right?
I mean, listen, you can't knock stick. It works still. It barely works, but it still works.
There's people in the UP who have better phones, and they don't even have internet up there.
Dude,
like,
people got Obama phones that are better than mine. Like,
dude, Stick will roll up to a high school game. These kids are making fun of him if he pulls out his phone.
So have you guys seen these prop bets on MyBookie?
I'm
just looking at some of them.
For me getting a new phone?
No. I was just looking at some of them, man. You know you can bet on how long the national anthem is going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could bet on everything.
Every year?
What?
Yeah.
What's the over-under this year? Is it like 230, 235?
Plus 100. Minus 140.
What's the time though?
Over 2 minutes and 33. Over 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Under 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yep, it's normally around that 2:30 mark.
Who's singing it?
Franklin fucking crushed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm literally thinking like who is
4:30.
singing it? Like who is singing it? That's all I need to know.
Did they release
the national
singing it?
anthem?
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Ooh, so she's kind of soulful. She'll string out some notes.
That's going over to. I'm taking that.
You're taking the over on
that. Oh yeah, she's about to. Did you see? I think she did the
That's what I was looking at.
She sung
got
Kobe.
one.
She did the Kobe song, the tribute to Kobe during the All-Star weekend. So she's definitely about to have some super long runs. Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. You never know. Like, are they gonna just speed it up? Or are they gonna rip right through it? But yeah, 2 minutes is about the time of the national anthem. Like I said, remember that Thanksgiving when Aretha Franklin did 4 minutes in 5 seconds? It was
beautiful, but
one of my favorite graphics ever is like time of possession for the half. It was like Lions 8 minutes, like so-and-so who they were playing 17 minutes. Aretha Franklin 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
So I'm looking. She did the NHL All-Star game in Minnesota, and there's a video of her singing it. It's about 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
So are you going over? It's the Super Bowl. You think she's going to be nervous and speed through, or you think she's going to drag out those
Bro,
notes?
look at what life has become. We're betting on how long the national anthem is.
I bet on two
know you're
monkeys
betting
fighting
it.
with knives the other day.
There's an even funnier bet.
Wait, what did you just say?
There's an even funnier bet. Will Jasmine Sullivan outfit show cleavage?
What's the definition of cleavage?
Some booby.
Guys, I know what boobs are, but I'm just saying, is it like
I'm trying to figure out the gray area
this
of that.
much? Is it this much?
Any.
Is it Janet Jackson nipples
Any.
out? Like,
No, any. If there's a little bit, if you see the little crease right there at the top.
So any creasage
It said must be bare skin, crack must be shown.
Oh,
Okay,
there's a
so it is the
disclaimer.
crazy.
Okay, there's a disclaimer.
Well, you have to know these things because one person's cleavage is another person's conservative.
Yes.
We are gambling degenerates, bro. Like, this is a problem. MyBookie, promo code Woodward.
Yeah, get it.
Take advantage of it.
Bet on some cleavage. What are some other good prop bets? And the cool part about this, we can make up our own prop bets too.
Yup.
Like Tom Brady will.
Can we do one for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Let's do our own.
Tom Brady
What should
over
we
under
do?
5 yards rushing. Like that. I think that would be an interesting bet.
5 yards rushing?
5 yards rushing.
I'm taking that.
Tom Brady got the wheels. Don't sleep on Tom
They
Brady.
got more bets on the color of her, where she be wearing a hat.
Yep, and you
open
can
toe shoes or not.
She always got hats on.
You can always bet on a Gatorade color that's going to get dumped on the coach too.
Oh yeah, you can bet on the Super Bowl.
Oh, did I
Gatorade.
steal your fact, Fish?
Oh,
Okay,
no.
good. Fish got something to say. Art, let him on. Let the man
Get the hell out the way, Art.
Get out the way, Art. Move.
Okay. Have your moment. Go ahead.
You can guess on the first song The Weeknd will sing.
Ooh. What do you think, Fishy?
The top one is Blinding Lights.
Yeah, that's what I was
think
gonna
he's
say.
gonna close with that. Like that's.
Let me see the list. I'm gonna look through. You guys.
I think he's gonna go. I can't feel my face first.
Yeah. So there's Blinding Lights, Pray for Me, Starboy, Can't Feel My Face, The Hills. I think he starts with The Hills, bro. Comes in a little dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little too slow
That's
for
too
the
slow.
Super Bowl, right? Like, what's he gonna do? Just be standing out there, grinding on his microphone?
I
Singing
can see that like being the intro though with that.
And then fireworks, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yep.
Bam.
You know
What color fireworks? Let's bet on it.
This is
Nocturnal
too much.
song on there? Because I can see him coming out with Disclosure and doing Nocturnal.
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah.
How about Crew Love? Cause she loving the crew. Just nobody knows. Right.
Drake
can I ask?
Drake will never let that happen.
Oh, Drake comes out too, man. What are you thinking?
That song is about.
Bam! Will Drake show up at the Super Bowl?
Time out. The Crew Love song. We all know what that was about, right?
Loving the crew.
Yeah.
Who was it about? Was really
You?
It's about choo choo.
Oh, it's about
running
the train?
Yeah. Isn't that what it's about?
I mean, it's crew love, baby.
God, the
Ain't
fact
no
that
fun
there's
if the
like
homies can't
12-year-olds
have
that
none.
know that
homies, man.
song
We
makes
loving
me
the
so
crew.
uncomfortable.
All right, well, we got to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be right back at you with Fish Facts.
Damn,
And,
already?
I know, and Fish got some bets on the day, too. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
So it's 9:50 on the Woodward Sports Network, and every day about this time we bring on intern Fish, and Fish delivers us with interesting facts, not only here in America, but from around the globe, and he always surprises us with something. So Fish, what are your facts for today?
Today's fact is Lionel Messi again.
Okay.
After I talked about him about 2 weeks ago. El Mundo in Spain, a Spanish newspaper, released Messi's earnings, or I guess bombshell report earnings. So he earns €555,237,619.
What's that convert to? Wait, hold up. What's that convert to?
On this show, we talk American, okay?
You can bet euro on my bookie.
Let me see.
No, honestly, he makes 500 million euros
Wait,
a year.
hold up.
He makes
hold up.
$555 million.
More. Yeah, euros more than us right now.
It's more.
So
He
it's
makes
like
That's
500.
like 600 million.
Yeah.
He makes $555 million in 4 years, but shout out to ESPN FC. They did a converter. So over 1
You
year,
had this the whole time?
1 year is 139 million. This is euro. Sorry, any American people. In 1 day, he makes 381K. 1 hour, 15,875.
Damn.
1 minute, 265. And he makes €4 in 1 second.
€4 a second. I love those facts when you break down like Bill Gates and all those money. Like, oh, if he dropped $100 bill, it would cost him more to stop and pick him up than to keep on walking. So
He just made $27 in that little sentence that you just said.
No wonder when we go to all these Forbes lists of richest athletes. Why is it a big deal that got released though? Because I saw he's suing now the Mexican government who put that out.
El Mundo?
Yeah,
He's suing El Mundo?
he is for putting that out there because they weren't supposed to disclose his contract, right?
Yeah. He's not really liking it at Barcelona, so he may leave in the summer.
Okay. Damn, that's a lot of money.
And
all right.
people
why
are
isn't
not
that public?
happy, huh?
Isn't that public? Their earnings?
No, not all of them.
Well, it's kind of public. I mean, the amount of money you get's kind of public.
Right.
Like how much he goes to a club, that's public. Whenever players leave, they release that. They say, oh, this player went to this team for this amount of money. That's released.
I make so much money that I don't want nobody to know how much I make.
That's how rich I want to be. Like,
Right.
you don't even know. All right, Fish, you got any bets today?
I do a bet. So the bet I was raising my hand for is who could be first, or who first to appear on stage with The Weeknd.
Ooh, that is a good one.
They always bring out their guest of people that they choose.
But who? The Weeknd doesn't have many features. You know who he's
Yeah.
going to bring out? He's going to bring out Belly. His boy Belly.
Yeah,
he always
probably
brings
Belly.
out Belly.
He'll bring on Drake.
You think he'll bring on Drake?
Oh, he'll bring Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Drake is plus 600.
Drake is plus
Drake?
600.
Oh, Drake is plus 600?
What are the other? Are there any?
So Future and Travis Scott are 400.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Peter Gabriel is plus 500.
Who?
Peter Gabriel.
Ain't nobody
Yeah,
want
Peter
Peter
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
No clue. Yeah.
Wiz
He's on this
Khalifa?
list, and I'm not reading it wrong, by the way. It says Peter Gabriel.
No, I got you. I believe you.
Wait, Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, he's like
Really?
an 80s guy.
Corey's saying that he doubts Drake comes out to somebody else's show, but he literally does that all the time. How dare you?
Who else is on that list, Fish?
I have no clue this name. Geffenstein.
Oh, he had a song with him.
Yup. Okay.
French Montana, Draft Punk, Kendrick Lamar,
Draft Punk.
Mulama.
I can see Daft. I can see Daft Punk being out there.
And Ariana Grande.
No, they're not together
I'm putting my
anymore.
money on Draft Punk.
Or are they together? Weren't they together?
Ariana Grande loves attention. I can see her showing up to the
Dude, she's
Super
been
Bowl.
silent too. I haven't seen her in forever.
Little did you know, the weekend, and you can place this bet on my bookie right now, is going to bring out Fish. Wouldn't that be great, Fish?
And he could raise his hand to do a fish fact during the Super Bowl halftime. I'd love it.
Excuse me, the weekend.
Well, they're going to have to do it through Zoom then, because I'm not going to Tampa as of Monday.
not with that
at
attitude.
9:50.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Surprise, Fish! We're
You're
sending you to
going
go to
to
halftime with the weekend. You got to learn all the dance moves today, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you, Fish, for your fish facts of the day. And now it's time to get into the dumbass of the day. Make sure you guys go low underneath that camera.
So
Go
time
ahead, Joey.
for our dumbass. There was some good Detroit news from Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy, how he does his Barstool charity fund. And one of our good friends, Grace, from American Coney Island, actually got the phone call from him and got the surprise. He came by. He did a visit. He did the whole American versus Lafayette.
Yeah, get your hat on.
He did the whole comparison, and not to say who's my favorite, but you see, and he goes into both of them, right? And at American Coney Island, the staff was all wearing their masks pretty well, and then when he obviously ate inside of the restaurant, he pulled his mask down. Well, the executive order had all of the restaurants closed for the last so many weeks.
Right.
They opened them today, but this was breaking the rules. So she ended up getting smacked with a warning. But Lafayette, on the other hand, like the guy that was there in the video, you see him with the mask completely off. You see him obviously eating in the restaurant with his mask down and gets smacked with the $500 fine.
Yeah, I saw Charlie LaDuff going nuts about this, too.
But here's the thing, is it kind of goes with the whole don't be a Marlowe thing, right?
Yeah.
You do something, you call someone out, but then they go back in the archives, they see that you did the same thing.
Right.
Whitmer was serving Coney dogs in June at Lafayette in one of her PR stunts where some employees were not wearing masks properly and Governor was not wearing a net. So,
I mean, when I go to Lafayette, I don't expect health concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I gotta be honest. Hairnet? No, I ain't never seen one there.
Right.
Gloves? Hell no.
Right.
Little guy behind that can, make my hot dog, just yelling at me. You want
Yes.
everything?
Yes.
That's what I expect when I go to Lafayette. So I don't know why this was a shock to anybody.
You know what
Right.
you know what you're getting when you're going to any Coney.
Yeah.
but it's just like, man,
Yeah.
I hope Portnoy pays this fine at least.
I mean, we should damn pay it. It's
We really-
$500, but
truthfully.
But yeah, dumbass for fining Lafayette. Yeah, like let the restaurants be open. They're struggling enough.
And here's my
haven't they
thing.
had enough?
Here's my thing, and I get it. It's the executive order. We got to follow it. But what is different from last week when they said restaurants are good to open up? We're going to make you wait 2 more weeks, but restaurants are good to open up.
How about between yesterday and today? like that's like at midnight? Okay, cool.
I don't get it.
That's
But
all right, Joey. Don't get
it's
worked
not-
up, man.
Listen, we're going to eat at a restaurant today.
Today, well, let's do our Coney review today too.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, we'll play that back on Wednesday. Thank you guys for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick.
This is Kory.
And it's Joey.
And Art's over there. Fish is over there. We appreciate you. The Baligian and Bell Show is up next at 11. Make sure you go to woodwardsports.com. Click on our podcast links if you want to listen to something in between now and then. Kory did a great Everything Is over the weekend about overrated things. And you guys got a lot of views on that, man.
That was like our most viewed episode on Facebook yet. So thanks a lot, everybody. If you didn't see it, go check it out.
Nice. So, yeah. Have a great Monday. It's Super Bowl week, and Stafford, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more talk. I'm interested to hear what Joyke has to say. He did a nice post about Stafford, so it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about the trade. We will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show.